We are inside the Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, the site of the 2016 Republican National Convention. Just a couple of days after this ends, they're going to start up the Democratic Convention in Philadelphia. The two political conventions are like the twin Super Bowls of partisan politics. Now, by the time you see this commentary, all the speeches will have been made up there. Those balloons will have dropped, and a whole lot of money will be spent. Over $70 million for the convention in Cleveland alone. That's a whole lot of money for what is basically a Republican infomercial and a summertime orgy of power trading. And the Democrats will spend another $70 million plus next week for their own self-serving production. Now, there was a time where we had to help pay for all of this hoopla. In 2012, for instance, taxpayers shelled out a little over $36 million for the Republican convention in Tampa and the Democratic convention in Charlotte. But in 2014, Congress did away with public financing of conventions, the idea being the two political parties can pay for their own two political parties. Now, taxpayers will still be on the hook for some of the security, spending over $50 million for security both in Cleveland and in Philadelphia. But the good news is none of that money goes to the stage production, the rock bands, the balloons, or the party hats. It all seems reasonable until you ask the question, if the taxpayers aren't paying, who is? The answer? Corporate America and a bunch of billionaires. That's right. The Democrats and the Republicans are now more beholden than ever before to corporate America. What's next? Naming rights? The ExxonMobil Republican National Convention or the Goldman Sachs Democratic National Convention. It's not that far-fetched. As more and more public financing moves out of the election process, more corporate money necessarily has to move in. And here's the worst part. Most of the money is raised by something called host committees. Now, they aren't technically political committees, so they don't have to adhere to federal regulations. This is a classic case of unintended consequences. Taxpayers were upset when they heard they were paying for conventions and demanded it stop. And as is often the case, the solution is worse than the problem. I'm Larry Menti in Cleveland. Next week, I'll be doing my commentary at the Democratic National Convention in Philadelphia. See you then.